Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Huge breaking news. President Trump, Obama, Hillary Clinton, the Russian hoax guys, all new evidence released today that is showing explicitly they knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that Russia did not interfere with the election, and there's more evidence that money was involved, baby. I'm telling you guys, we're bringing all the receipts. We're showing you everything that's going on. The Obamagate conspiracy against Trump was to maintain an ongoing criminal conspiracy that usurped the authority and the power of the American people, transferring it back to the powerful elites that were using the power of the U.S. government to benefit off of foreign nations in exchange for cold, hard cash right into their pockets, guys. Bombshell news today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because this is a big one. We know that anytime you get the politicians, the lobbyists, the elitists involved, there's money involved. Well, guess what? We now have evidence. This new evidence Tulsi Gabbard has revealed, guys. Everybody's jumping in. The Obama and his official office has released a statement trying to deflect, calling this entire investigation a distraction. Yeah, distraction from nothing. We are catching the bad guys. Everybody, this is so big. Let me know your thoughts, guys, but it doesn't stop there because our boy, Jim Jordan, who is a chairman over the House Judiciary Committee, has just subpoenaed, listen to this, guys, take a seat, we got a big show for you today, has just subpoenaed Special Prosecutor Jack Smith. Yeah, the same Jack Smith that used lawfare, that went after Trump, made up all these stupid charges. He's officially been subpoenaed to appear before Congress and be questioned under oath on the weaponization of lawfare against President Trump. Is it not coming full circle, baby? And then, guys, again, when you look at who is leading all of this, is a former Democrat, Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat that Trump brought into his second term. I'll have to admit, guys, I did not think that Tulsi Gabbard would be as powerful as she is now, punching way above her weight class, but she is delivering receipts. She's bringing all the evidence. The Democrats had a soft coup against President Trump in his first term, and now it's being revealed all. We are now hearing things of indictments that are being worked up to be sent to guess who? Jack Smith, Obama officials, guys. This is beautiful. It's gold. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But guys, we are exposing everything today. It doesn't stop there. Well, guess what? News has come out that, remember those fires in California? Yeah. Well, guess what? People gave and they were able to raise $100 million, guys. $100 million for the people of California for the wildfires. But guess what? Not a single resident has gotten a penny. $3.3 million of that $100 million went to singers, professional singers and podcasters. The LA Fire Department has only got 1% of that money. Gavin Newsom has used this opportunity also for the state government to buy up to a ton of the expensive burnt up land at a cheap price, and he's now turning it into low income housing. Tell me, the whole thing sounds so fishy, so corrupt, guys, that it's just like when you see the aftermath, people not being taken care of, people not getting support, you know that there was other ulterior motives in the mix. And guys, I'm telling you, Trump is the art of the deal maker. My goodness, this dude knows how to win in business. Trump has negotiated the trade deal with Japan, the Philippines, and Indonesia. More tariff revenue coming in, 50% more than what we had projected. Also, they've announced another $550 billion, guys, $500 billion investment into the United States from Japan. Tell me if America is not winning. And if you believe that, guys, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. America winning, MAGA winning, because this is what we want. An American president who's winning so much for the American people, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Got a big show for you today. So much is being unveiled. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers, all of our viewers. Thank you everybody who is watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want you here. We got a big show today, guys. I want to thank all the members of the channel, all those that gave a super chat donation, all those that gave yesterday, guys, during our donation to a local charity, a local children's home, guys. We have just been able to change children's lives with your support. Want to give some love to Donna Storino, Elaine Demeen. Show Elaine some love in the chat. Marlene Meinhard, welcome to the family. Guys, show them some love in the chat. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. It's big, guys. It helps out the channel so much. So much big news today. Bombshell news. I want to say this again, guys. Money has been caught. They have seen that through the conspiracies, through the criminal conspiracies, they were trying and they were working with foreign nations in exchange for cold hard cash right into their pockets, guys. We're bringing you all the receipts. Big news today, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Check this out.
All right, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, joins us now to talk more about this. And good to have you on. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Rob. Great to see you.
That this is explosive. Democrats say that you're using sleight of hand here, alleging that you're debunking a theory that Obama and his team never actually endorsed. Why are they wrong to say that?
Well, first of all, it's interesting to see how the Democrats have chosen to respond to this. Their response has been very weak and frankly contradicts exactly what the intelligence that we have declassified and released shows. We've released over 100 pages last week that really direct the step-by-step what exactly occurred before President Trump was elected in the months leading up to that 2016 election, which essentially said the intelligence community agreed in their assessment that Russia was not trying to influence and impact the outcome of the U.S. election. Then you fast forward to just days after the election, the intelligence community's assessment didn't change. And then the first week of December was where the turning point occurred. There was a president's daily brief that was written up by the intelligence community in Obama's ODNI. This is something that happens on a daily basis. And that president's daily brief provided an assessment that was consistent with the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election. That president's daily brief document was pulled just hours before it was supposed to be published, and there's an email that we released saying that it was pulled because of quote-unquote new guidance that was given. The very next day, a small group National Security Council principals meeting was called in the Situation Room to discuss what they called a very sensitive topic. Well, the topic was Russia. The summary of conclusions that came from that meeting, which happens after every principals committee meeting that you know now in President Trump's cabinet we participate in, that summary of conclusions then provides the documented evidence of how President Obama ordered tasks through then DNI Clapper to the intelligence community to create an intelligence community assessment that details how Moscow tried to meddle in the U.S. election to influence the outcome in favor of President Trump. So the distinction,
guys, all this stuff that you're hearing, it's all fake, guys. The stuff that Obama did, it was all fake. They were trying to usurp Trump. They were trying to usurp his entire first-term presidency. This is a statement from spokesperson for President Obama. And the last thing that he says in this is nothing in the documents issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. Okay, so right there, you just admitted it. They didn't successfully manipulate any votes, but guess what? You still put it out there like you said that they did actually help Trump win. These findings were affirmed in the 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. Guys, is this not the smoking gun that we've been waiting for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. And guys, show some big love to Grandma Bonnie Morris in the chat. Said, what a great family we have here on True Life News. John and I are so happy to be a part of it. Let's go. Show Grandma Bonnie some love in the chat, guys, for her giving. Just helping us to grow the True Life News family giving and support. I love it, guys. We are exposing the truth. We're bringing the receipts. We're showing you everything, guys, that right now we are about to see the takedown of one of the most biggest deep state corrupt things that has ever happened in America. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Is very clear from the intelligence community's assessments prior to the election, just after the election, and then what happened and the document that was drafted and published in January of 2017 under the direct instruction, the direction of President Obama at that time.
Obama.
The reason why this is significant, Rob, is this document that was created. It was created on the basis of, as you mentioned, the Steele dossier, something that was known to have been discredited at that time, yet it was still used as a reference for this intelligence community assessment that contradicted every other one that had occurred before. It used other pieces of intelligence that the intelligence community deemed to be not credible at all, which is why they had not used it in previous assessments. And it was the foundation for what would become essentially a years-long coup to undermine President Trump and his presidency.
Do you think that was the motive? I mean, if this thing flipped and all of a sudden they changed their tune, do you think somebody dreamed up that idea and said, we can use this to kind of protect the Obama legacy, all the work he had done? They knew Trump wanted to go in there and rip it all apart. Was that a potential motive for this?
Guys, I do want to show you this too as well, because I'm telling you, all this is tying in together. What you're about to hear, they were trying to protect Hillary. Look at this. From the leading report, guys, I told you we bring you the receipts. DNI Tulsi Gabbard's recent declassification reveals that Russian intelligence obtained but chose not to leak highly damaging information about Clinton's health during her 2016 campaign. Guys, Hillary Clinton was allegedly suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems and was taking heavy tranquilizers. She had reported medical issues including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, deep vein thrombosis, COPD, chronic fatigue, and Obama and senior party officials reportedly found her health condition extraordinarily alarming. Guys, all this stuff is being exposed right now. Like, is this not bombshell news? All the cover-ups, all the just trying to discredit anything that Trump's cabinet, or anybody has ever said. We're now getting declassified documents with the actual intel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And again, don't forget to show Grandma Bonnie some love in the chat.
Yeah, yes, and this is the issue here that really draws focus into the implications of what occurred and why it's important to every single American. This is not a Democrat issue or a Republican issue. This is one that has implications that affects every single one of us as Americans, because it speaks to the integrity of our democratic republic. The reality is, clearly, the Obama administration was not happy with the fact that President Trump won. I think many of them said over and over that they didn't think he would win. Well, the American people elected Donald Trump in 2016, which is what ultimately drove them to take this action that had the effect and result of trying to undermine him throughout his entire 4 years in his administration. We had 2 congressional impeachments. We had a years-long Mueller investigation. We had multiple attacks on President Trump, smears on him and his family. We had investigations. We had senior administration officials being arrested. The list goes on, and it all comes back to this document being the foundational piece of evidence that they kept citing that, in fact, was manufactured intelligence.
Wow, what would, I mean, if guys, again, 2 impeachments, all the indictments, Bannon, you have Bannon, Navarro, people went to jail because of everything that was conspired against Trump. Tell me in the chat, are we ready to see arrest, guys? Are we ready to finally see accountability? Because I got some deep intel, guys. I'm going to show you in a moment of what's coming, because nothing is being held back. People are being subpoenaed left and right, and what's next is indictments, guys. And when the indictments come, that's when you know people are about to see the inside of a jail cell.
If you're the DOJ, though, you have to figure out if they're going to charge this, if they're going to do anything about this, and we don't know that they will, because you're talking about such high-profile people and players. I saw somebody put something out about seditious conspiracy yesterday online, and when you think about it, the allegation here is that they tried to undermine democracy, which is their key word that they use all the time, right? They always talk about fighting for democracy. Well, then they tried to undermine the mandate from the American people that they wanted to change from Obama, that they did not want this kind of government anymore. They tried to basically cripple the incoming democratically elected government to keep their agenda alive, which I think is about as anti-democratic as it gets. But what is the charge for that for these people, I guess, is a question.
Right there, guys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The charges, that is up to the Department of Justice to determine. We have turned over all of the documents that we have, both the redacted and unredacted versions. We will continue to do so as new information and new intelligence comes to light. We have whistleblowers who are now coming forward who say they have new information that is related to what occurred during this period of time. So the legal path forward will be up to the Department of Justice to determine. However, I will say how essential it is as an American that we hold people accountable, no matter how powerful they are, no matter what position they have held. It is essential that for the future of our nation and our democratic republic, that accountability must occur.
Let me just read
guys,
this to you.
And I just want to show you again, I told you we bring you all the breaking news as it's happening, launching investigations left and right. Everybody that has had ties to the China Communist Party, anybody that's had ties to getting tons of billions of dollars from the American taxpayer, well, guess what? Your butt's about to be investigated for the corruption. Look at this. Secretary Marco Rubio, and you know this dude is a pit bull, has launched investigations into Harvard's use of international visas, citing national security concerns. FAFO. He said the American people have the right to expect their universities to uphold national security, comply with the law, and provide safe environments for all students. Guess what? They've been getting billions of dollars. They've been letting people, we have caught so many spies. I haven't shown it on this channel, guys, but we have caught spies that got in through these universities and then got into government, and we're stealing our information to give it to these other governments like Russia and the CCP. FAFO, put them in jail, guys. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm sick and tired of seeing people rip off the American people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Quick, because this is relatively new here. This is from Obama's office. They say they, out of respect for the office of the president, they don't usually dignify what comes out of the White House with a response, but says that this is so outrageous that they have to respond. It says nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intel Committee, led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. Any response to that?
We will be releasing further documents that will refute that statement, and I would go back and point to, and we will be pulling a whole host of statements that were made by the Obama administration, by Hillary Clinton, by senior Democrat officials, by their friends in the media that state over and over again, after this January 2017 manufactured intelligence document was created, that repeat the narrative. And I'm looking at my notes here. New York Times says Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in the election. Obama's CIA Director John Brennan says there is strong consensus among us to support the CIA claim Russian hackers aided Donald Trump's election. Hillary Clinton said, I would be president if not for the Russian hackers supporting Donald Trump. So there is a vast body of evidence and intelligence that debunks and refutes this statement you've just read and others coming from some of the Democrat leaders in Congress today.
Guys, this is so big, guys. She said, look, I have evidence to refute that, guys. I'm telling you, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind smashing that like button, guys, thank you so much for your support, because again, what you're seeing on the screen, guys, we're showing you the full scope of what's going on. Cash on hand per Politico. Well, guess what? The RNC literally has $81 million cash on hand getting ready for the midterms. How much did the DNC have? $15 million. Nobody wants to support the Democrats anymore. Nobody wants to give them any money. We showed you literally emails from the Harris campaign talking about the midterms saying, look, guys, we know that we didn't win and we know that we suck, but please give us some money. We asked for $10. Could you give us $5? So desperate. Nobody believes the Democratic Party right now. They have 100% gaslit the American people so much that, guys, look at the difference. This is usually flipped. Usually the DNC, the Democrats, got so much money and the Republicans have nothing. But this just shows you common sense is winning. This just shows you the American people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and what you're about to see next is the next steps. I told you we're showing you everything that's happening behind the scenes, guys. We bring the receipts. We show you things that are not on mainstream media. These are the next steps that are about to take place. We talked to you about the indictments, all that over the Obama, Russia collusion hoax, all this stuff, guys. Listen to this.
John Solomon joins us. John, put this in perspective because you and I have been working on this one for years. Finally, and Tulsi Gabbard finally got her shout out by President Trump last night at the reception for the Congress. Finally, and she's been taking incoming. The reason she's been taking incoming, folks, is that she's been on the right side of every issue, but you can see she's a safe pair of hands. Solomon, your thoughts, brother?
Well, let's take Barack Obama's statement at the start. None of this makes sense. Let's make sense of it for your audience. Barack Obama attends a meeting in July 2016 before Crossfire Hurricane is opened by the FBI targeting the Republican nominee for the 2016 presidential election. And he's told Hillary Clinton is going to invent a scandal. She's going to hang a fake Russian signal on Donald Trump's campaign house and make it look like Vladimir Putin is trying to help him win the election. They know the fix is in at the beginning. Barack Obama does not stop his FBI or his intelligence committee from then investigating that very allegation, though they know it emanates from a dirty trick inside of the Trump campaign, inside the Hillary Clinton campaign. In fall, after the first effort to defeat Trump failed. They don't defeat him. The Russia stuff doesn't work, even though Christopher Steele and others tried to peddle it as hard as they could. Barack Obama assembles a team. He assembles it. He orders this ICA. And this intelligence committee assessment reverses what the intelligence community just concluded, that Vladimir Putin in September didn't have a preference of which candidate to win. He was just trying to sow chaos, which, by the way, is the traditional Soviet playbook. To get to that conclusion, they have to take a document that has been fully discredited by December of 2016 and inject it into the earlier intelligence assessment. That document is the Steele dossier. In December, when they used the Steele dossier at Barack Obama's direction, this is the new assessment they're doing, Steele's already been fired. It's already been proven that none of the statements in his dossier are true. The FBI had a spreadsheet knocking them all down, or that none of them could be corroborated if they weren't knocked down. And three, they know the rest of the CIA doesn't believe the document should be used. And what do? They put it in that dossier. One more thing, just real quickly. In January, as he's leaving office, the FBI has cleared Mike Flynn. President Obama presides over a meeting with the FBI to figure out how they can keep pursuing Flynn and hamper the beginning of the Trump presidency. Barack Obama was at the center of those three actions, were a major part of the weaponization. Episode.
President Trump yesterday called his predecessor guilty of treason.
Yeah.
The former commander-in-chief. Pretty stunning. John, please stick around or take a short commercial break. Okay, welcome back. Get on Getter, and you get free content, my exclusive content up there, and any moron can use it because I'm the biggest moron and I can use it. Simplest social media out there. So John Solomon, and maybe we put up, Tulsi put up, you can tell what they're doing, which is the playbook. You know, every couple of days they're going to put out another big reveal. You've been on this one for years. You probably know this better on the details than anyone. Just be a guide for us. Where do you think this is going in the next days and weeks ahead, sir?
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Steve, that Kash Patel opened an investigation in April inside the FBI. It's a predicated criminal investigation that looks at everything from the clearing of Hillary Clinton to the start of Russiagate, all the way through Jack Smith raiding Florida, and the Biden White House sticking the National Archives and telling them to get the FBI on Donald Trump in the classified documents case as one continuous criminal conspiracy, much like you would look at a drug cartel or an organized crime organization like the mafia. When the Justice Department starts an investigation like this, their first step is to name a federal strike force, to get a strike force of the best agents and prosecutors, have them work exclusively on this and develop the different overt acts. What are the overt acts? Is it the ordering of the Crossfire Hurricane? Is it Obama knowing that it's a fake scandal and allowing it to go on? Is it hijacking the ICA? You go through that. I think Pam Bondi's on the verge. If she follows the Justice Department's normal predicate, you got an open conspiracy case to name a federal strike force and to move this to the next level. Just think about this. That means the Obama administration and the Democrats and all of those who are involved in the weaponization are going to be treated just like the mob, just like a drug cartel. They're going to be pursued by a federal strike force to determine whether their political conspiracy to get Trump rose to a criminal conspiracy. I think.
And guys, just think about it, guys. All this stuff always boils down to what? Trying to get Trump, either they got him impeached, they try to get him out of office, and they try to put him in jail. Look how the tables have turned, baby. Jim Jordan subpoenas prosecutor from former special counsel Jack Smith's team for deposition. Guys, it's like we're going in on him, guys. Everybody has been told, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're going to go after this person. You're going to go after this person that used lawfare. You're going to go after the Clintons. You're going to go after the Obamas. You're going to go after the Bidens. You're going to go after Letitia James. You're going to go after Jack Smith. All the people that tried to put Trump in jail are all about to get the smackdown. Because remember, you wait to get the biggest person at the end. Like Obama, he's going to be the last person to be subpoenaed, the last person to be indicted, because they want the people below him they want to subpoena them, indict them, and question them, and then make them make a deal to say, okay, I'll tell you what they did. If you don't give me 10 years in prison, give me 2 years in prison. And that's what they'll do, guys. So we're going to see every person that worked below the big heads to be indicted, subpoenaed. They'll get their testimony. They'll cut them a deal, and they'll say, look, we got you. You're going to jail. So you either give up your boss now, and we'll make sure that you get out early on good behavior, or you don't do anything, and you're going to get the full maximum penalty. Guys, that's what's about to happen. That is how real all this stuff, these receipts I'm bringing you guys, that's why everybody is starting to finally get their subpoenas. And then next is the indictments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
That's the next step. I would not be surprised, based on how far I know this investigation has evolved, if that happened within the next week. That will give us a sense that maybe for the first time, there's a serious effort to investigate this and to bring accountability all the way back from 16 all the way through 24. That's what I'd be watching.
One other thing you broke, by the way, that's huge. A federal strike force to bring together their best talent on one thing to make sure they pursue this as they would a mob investigation or a drug cartel using RICO in the criminal conspiracy. This is why on MSNBC they're saying, well, this happened years ago. They answered some bad questions to Congress and they couldn't, it's just inadvertent. Also, a couple weeks ago, you broke this thing on the FBI and the Chinese Communist Party trying to get to 2020. As you see, President Trump continues to come back every time he talks and hammers 2020. What do you got for us today? It's a bunch of articles now following your reporting. What's the latest on that?
Well, it's one of the potential overt acts in the long-running conspiracy. If the FBI, which falsely investigated President Trump, created blockades to not investigate people like Hillary Clinton fully or Hunter Biden fully. Remember what the IRS whistleblowers told us. If they also tried to protect Joe Biden by hiding or suppressing or not fully investigating a foreign intervention in the 2020 election, that would be viewed as another overt act in that wash, rinse, repeat cycle that we talk about. Clear the Democrat pursue the Republican on similar investigations. That's that pattern that goes from 16 to 20. Ukraine, Russia, January 6th, the classified documents case, the same pattern keeps repeating itself. This China episode would be an example. The FBI knowingly and willfully stopped investigating a credible intelligence report that China was trying to help Joe Biden win the election with fake mail-in ballots. They did so even by recalling their intelligence report and asking agencies to destroy it. That could be considered an overt act of misusing the color of government to and leaving the United States vulnerable to the attack of an enemy. And remember, all those guys ran out on TV in December 2020, said no foreign interventions in the election. No, there was apparently one that they just didn't fully look at. In fact, there were two, because Iran also hacked the database, we learned later. So 2 foreign interventions, but they go on TV and deny it. Why is that? It looks like a cover-up for something that went on in the summer and fall of 2020. So I think that fits into this conspiracy. It probably is part of the strike force if Pam Bondi goes that direction. These are really, really significant moments for people who have waited 7, 8, 9 years for accountability. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But
guys, I'm telling you, stuff is coming like nobody's business. If you appreciate this truth, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is massive. Gene Kopech, thank you so much for the super chat. Say United States was at war and Obama was the commander-in-chief. Obama and everyone involved should be tried in the military tribunal for treason. If guilty, faces imprisonment and a fine, but can also be sentenced to their life being taken away. Y'all show Gene some love in the chat. OG of the channel. Guys, I'm telling you, this what you're seeing on the screen, step by step, it exposes how President Obama orchestrated the false lie that Putin helped elect Trump, knowing it wasn't true. But again, so much is breaking news today, guys. This is one of the most heartbreaking things I want to show you today, because remember, the Obamas, the Clintons, the Bidens staying in power, the Democrats staying in power was everything to them. They didn't care who got hurt. They didn't care who suffered. We just found out the Biden administration set up a hotline so that unaccompanied minors that came to the border could call if they had trouble with strangers that they were being placed with. 65,000 calls to this hotline went unanswered. You see, guys, how evil this stuff gets? This is why we do good. This is why we donate to local charities. This is why we're trying to make a difference, is because there's so much evil out there. And we are going to overcome evil with good. And just like what you're about to see now, guys, this is all finally being addressed, especially when it comes to the Biden administration and what they done to try to stay in power. Listen to this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing. For 4 years under Joe Biden and the Democrats, this country witnessed an invasion at our southern border. It is an invasion that has no precedent in the history of our country. 12 million illegal immigrants were allowed to come into this country. And that was deliberate. It was not an accident.
Nope.
It was not negligence. It was a deliberate choice that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Alejandro Mayorkas and every Democrat senator and House member made. They looked at 12 million illegal immigrants and they saw what they believed would be future Democrat voters. And they were willing to allow Americans to be murdered, American women to be raped, American children to be brutalized by violent criminals day after day after day. In his first 71 days in office, President Biden released 184,241 illegal immigrants. That was a decision. By the way, it was a lawless decision. Federal immigration law says they shall be deported. No president has ever done what this administration did, which is say, we don't care about the law. We are all about partisan politics, and we're going to let them all go. And God help the communities we release them into. His first 71 days, Joe Biden averaged 2,600 releases per day. Let's compare that to the same 71-day period in 2025 under President Trump. Joe Biden, 184,241. Donald Trump, 9. Not 9,000, not 900, 9. That is a 99.995% reduction. At the State of the Union address, Democrats did something else unprecedented. They decided they wouldn't stand for the president. They wouldn't applaud for the president. The only thing they would do is emanate hate and rage for the president of the United States.
I can't even believe I'm about to say this, because I just looked it up. 13,000 immigrants have been convicted of homicide in the past 5 years. 13,000 people that shouldn't have been here. So think about it on the flip side. 13,000 Americans' lives were taken by illegal immigrants. 13,000. That's a lot of people. And what you're seeing here is what the next steps are for the betrayal of the American people, the accountability of the American people of being held. Somebody has to go to jail. Somebody has to be arrested for this, because 13,000 Americans lost their lives to illegal immigrants. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because this is disgusting. This is what the Democrats 100% were behind. They said we had secure borders, and they lied. They said that we weren't, that illegal aliens don't commit crimes. Well, they do.
So Alexis Nungary was at the State of the Union address. I've gotten to know Alexis well, the mother of Jocelyn Nungary, a beautiful 12-year-old girl raped and murdered in my hometown of Houston. The Democrats sat there and wouldn't applaud.
Sick.
For the mother whose baby girl was taken from her. President Trump at the State of the Union address said last year Joe Biden stood before Congress and said he could not secure the border unless Congress passed new legislation. And as President Trump pointed out, it turned out we didn't need new legislation. We just needed a new president. You look at gotaways. Under Joe Biden, over 3 million gotaways. Who are gotaways? They're the most concerning of all of the 12 million that came into this country, because gotaways are the illegal immigrants. We know we're here. We see signs of them. We see tracks, but they didn't turn themselves in. Gotaways are much, much more likely to be murderers, much more likely to be rapists, much more likely to be child molesters, much more likely to be gang members, much more likely to be terrorists. Under the Biden administration, CBP was instructed at the southern border, be on guard for Hamas and Hezbollah and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists coming across the border. Why? Because they've declared jihad, and because the Biden open border policies extended a red carpet for anyone that sought to do harm. Now, if you look at what the Trump administration has done, it didn't just slow the bleeding, it turned it around. Daily border encounters down 93%, encounters with gotaways down 95%, illegal alien crossings down over 99%.
God.
These are historic, the biggest improvement in border security in the history of the United States of America. And yet, not a single Democrat is here celebrating that. Not a single Democrat is saying, thank you that our families are safer. They don't want our families safer.
Dang.
The Democrats have decided instead to fly down to El Salvador and have margaritas with MS-13 gang members. I genuinely don't understand that. Find me a community in America, find me a mom in America who says, you know what we need? More gang members who are raping more little girls. And this crisis is not about numbers, it's about lives.
Yes.
Laken Riley, a beautiful 22-year-old girl in Georgia, murdered by an illegal immigrant the Democrats released. Jocelyn Nungary, as I mentioned, a beautiful 12-year-old girl in my hometown of Houston, murdered by 2 illegal immigrants the Democrats released. They had them in custody. Her murderers were in custody. The Democrats released them. Her murder was in custody. The Democrats released them. Rachel Marin was a mother of 5. Raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant the Democrats had in custody, and they released them. Over and over and over again.
Wow.
This was deliberate.
Guys, and I show this stuff, guys, because this is what's happening right now in Congress. This is the stuff that we're fighting, guys, right here. And what you're about to see next is that when it comes to exposing the truth, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is the truth that people need to hear. So all those people, if you're Democrat, if you're independent, if you watch our show, if you're MAGA, you're going to vote for Trump. You're going to vote for America First. But this is what is the real truth that Democrats and independents need to answer for and need to see, because this is what's really happening to people's lives. Just like what you're about to see here, 65,000 calls to a hotline that the Biden administration set up so that the unaccompanied minors that came over the border, that were placed with strangers that weren't properly vetted, 65,000 calls went unanswered. What happened to those kids? Were they being abused? Were they being taken advantage of? I mean, guys, this is horrible stuff. But this is the crap that went on during the Biden administration that nobody wants to answer for. This is the real stuff. This is why we vote America First, because we don't have to deal with this type of corruption, trying to make it look like they're good, but they're not. Elaine Golden, thank you so much for the super chat. Fred Samuel, thank you so much for the super chat. He said he is absolutely correct. They were trying to destroy America from the inside, 100%. Show Fred and Elaine some love, and don't forget Grandma Bonnie Morris. Show her some love in the chat, guys, for her giving. Amazing, amazing giving today. Listen to this, guys, because this is the real deal of the stuff that's being uncovered right now that happened. People need to be arrested.
So you're telling this committee that the Biden administration, while they were letting all of these unaccompanied minors into the country, and as we've talked about today, they weren't keeping track of them, they issued these kids a hotline that they could call if they had trouble with the sponsor family that they were put with. And you're saying that 65,000 calls to this hotline designated to protect these kids went unanswered? Is that what you're telling this committee?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It's sick, guys. And again, too, the corruption, we are unveiling everything, guys. More breaking news is coming out over everything that's happening, guys. If you just think, if you put it, the Obamas, the Biden administration, the Clintons, corrupt, guys. That's why they hated Trump so much. Listen to this.
There are many that believe the actual Obamagate conspiracy against Trump was to maintain an ongoing criminal conspiracy that usurped the authority and power of the American people, transferring it to the kleptocracy. Powerful elites that were using the power of U.S. government to the benefit of foreign nations in exchange for cold, hard cash right in their pockets.
You heard that, guys? That's what they're trying to prove. That's what we're fighting again, is that Hillary and all these people were getting paid by overseas people to control U.S. policy in exchange for cold, hard cash. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments, because this is the real deal. We are bringing the receipts. They're dropping all the declassified documents, guys. This is what they're allegedly saying, is it was all for money. Tell me if we're not dropping the receipts today.
When word got out that Hillary Clinton was running a private server, Congress said, we'd like you to turn over those emails, some 35,000, perhaps even more. Clinton then had staffers basically digitally burn all of the documents. They used an app called BleachBit, which destroyed the server so they could not recover any data. She then had her staffers smash their phones with hammers. Is that what an innocent person does when they're working in government and are required to turn over their records? Now, why is it, though we know this story, this is not the biggest scandal? Why is this not the biggest news? Let me just stress this again. Hillary Clinton had her staffers smash cell phones with hammers and use a program called BleachBit to destroy the records on a private server she was ordered to turn over. That's destruction of evidence. That is a crime. Why didn't the FBI arrest her?
A mugshot, at least. That's like the bare minimum.
Well, so you're saying arrest?
Yes, there needs to be arrest because, listen, we've been playing these games for quite some time now, and unfortunately, we haven't seen much movement from the DOJ. I mean, we've known all of this. Everything has come out from, Gabbard's team, which I'm so thankful that it has. We've all known about these things for quite some time now, and so there should have been a blueprint by the DOJ on if they have a special prosecutor going on, or how they were going to go about making these arrests, or who they're going to go for first, because obviously Barack Obama would be the last arrest that they'd make. They'd want some individuals who are surrounding him to turn on him quick. And so
right there, guys, again, they're gonna go after certain people to try to get some dirt, more dirt, to try to make sure, just like this right here. This is Chairman Jordan subpoenas prosecutor from former special counsel Jack Smith's team for deposition. So they talk to the lower guys. They try to get them to spill on the bigger guys so that they have more evidence, guys. This is what's happening right now because everybody's fed up. With enough of what we've seen and enough evidence, people are saying, you know what? These people need to be arrested. Don Sturgis, thank you so much for the super chat. See, keep up the good work, Joel. Mid-Michigan supporters, True Life News. Simply because we feel you are the real news truth correspondent. Let's go, guys. Show Don some love in the chat, brother. Thank you so much.
hope they have a plan in place. I don't hear of any grand juries going on. Obviously, in D.C., you'd hear about it. But outside of D.C., I haven't heard of any grand juries going on. So I'm a little concerned that we're kind of playing catch up here. But also, I can't wait for Barack Obama to try to sit there and play the presidential immunity argument here and say that he can't be prosecuted because he can be. And he's obviously been a part of the lawfare before. So it'll be interesting to hear.
So I understand that there are going to be obviously people on X that are going to try to make that argument. Do you think that Barack Obama would actually try to make that argument? I do think that he's a little more sophisticated than the average partisan, poster on X. Do you think Obama would?
I think if the walls start closing in, if the people around him start to turn, then yes, I think he'd have to make the argument of presidential immunity. But from what I'm understanding is there's probably more evidence in regards to when he left the White House and how he kept everything kind of going still. So presidential immunity wouldn't apply for that.
I think it's all fake, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you think is fake?
I'm done believing any of this, the posting of memes and the making of claims. I'm half kidding. I know people are going to take it very, very seriously. What I'm saying is I'm beginning to doubt that there is any intention in going after these people. And the reason I bring that up is, although we are seeing some movement from the Trump DOJ, it's 1% of the actual power they have and could move on. I mean, you take a look at how the Biden DOJ went after Trump's lawyers, went after Trump himself and lied and made things up.
Yep.
You mean to tell me that Trump's sitting there being like, I guess we'll figure out in time? They didn't wait. Nope. They literally just said, go arrest all his lawyers and make the charges up.
Well,
guys, I'm telling you, and look at this, just dropped, guys. DNI, Tulsi Gabbard declassifies more reports showing Intel had no proof President Putin backed President Trump in 2016, but under Obama's unusual orders, released false intel suggesting that he did. Guys, all this stuff, guys, look, breaking news, all this stuff is coming out. Brennan ordered the post-election publication of 15 reports containing previously collected but unpublished intelligence. 3 of them, which were substandard, containing information that was unclear, of certain origin, potentially biased or implausible, and those became foundational sources for the ICA's judgments that Putin preferred Trump over Clinton. So you see, guys, all this stuff is being dropped. They're dropping it, a couple of things every day, every other day, to make sure that they're building their case. They're showing because if you drop everything in one day, that's too much for the news cycle to handle. But if you drop it every other day, you drop it every day, then you allow the news cycle to receive everything that's happening, and then you allow for the next steps to happen. Because right now, guys, the Democrats are losing it. They are like everything. I told you this could be the end of the entire Democratic Party with what you're about to see next, because all this stuff, the past two presidents, the collusion, the fake Steele dossier, all this stuff was trying to take Trump down, and it's all being shown that it was a lie. John Propchi Jr., thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. Show John some love in the chat. We got victory, guys. This is big. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, listen to this.
I brought this up with you. Bill Clinton seems like a conservative compared to these people. And this is what's fascinating about Carville, you know, and Rahm Emanuel and some of these other people that were there. They're not, they have no influence on this party at all whatsoever. None. The era of big government, can you imagine any Democrat saying that today? The end of welfare as we know it, working with somebody like you? That's never going to happen.
Well, I think we're watching one of the truly great historic transformations in American history. You have a party which was a one-time, an extraordinarily broad coalition, a very practical party, a party which represented overwhelmingly working Americans. And that Democratic Party, despite every effort by Bill Clinton, and to be fair, Clinton understood the problem, he fought against the problem, and in the end he lost. The fact is, the new, modern, radical party, a party which in New York has nominated a Muslim candidate in Mamdani, or not a Muslim candidate, but a candidate who represents a coalition of Muslims and very hard left people. And we just saw in Minneapolis, the same kind of coalition came together to nominate a Muslim candidate with hard left support. You're seeing a totally new coalition emerge that defines a Democratic Party, which is really very different from the rest of America. In our work, as you know, Sean, at America's the America's new program that we have, we actually put together, since 2018, a long series of polls, and they show again and again. You want males in women's bathrooms? That's about a 15% issue. You want teachers to be able to take care of third and fourth graders on transgenderism? That's about a 15% issue. The idea of having the government run grocery stores, as Mamdani has suggested, that will be distinctly a far left minority issue. And you go through all of these. There's a district attorney candidate in New York who has said she wants to hire criminals to serve on the district attorney's staff so they can gain from their insights. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up.
You really can't. She's running for DA in Nassau County in New York, the county I grew up in.
Guys, again, it's like one thing right after another, guys. And what I love is that the proof is in the pudding. Cash on hand per Politico, RNC, $81 million. DNC, $15 million. They cashed out on Kamala Harris, spending almost $2 billion to get her elected. They failed. They have no more money. And now nobody wants to give them money because they suck. They do not put America first, and they do not have America's best interest at heart. Because whenever you allow 20 million illegals to come in, you don't have America's best interest at heart. You have your own political agenda. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because that's what's happening. We are seeing this in real time. Lily Ignacio, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, I want to see BHO mugshot in orange jumpsuit in handcuffs. So BHO, Barack Hussein Obama's who she's talking about. Most probably instigated the Mar-a-Lago raid. I wouldn't doubt it. Y'all show Lily some love in the chat, as well as Pamela Harper, guys, for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from Pamela, show her some love in the chat. OG of the channel. Guys, thank you so much for helping us grow our family. We are bringing the truth out. We're growing this community. Thank you so much for liking our videos, sharing our videos, subscribing. We just want to serve you. That's the whole point of this channel. We want to take care of you every day and bust our butt to give you the best show every day. Show Pamela some love in the chat, guys.
That's fascinating to watch. I don't think she's going to win, by the way, not on that platform. What do you make of the cowardly silence of the left? And by that, I mean, why won't Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Kathy Hochul in New York, we'll take that one example, and Marxist Mamdani, why won't they speak out? I mean, there was a report today, Mark Halpern is a pretty smart guy, and he has really good political insight, and he made the observations that Jeffries even is saying privately that if Mamdani wins, he doesn't think that the Democrats can take back the House. Why won't they say it publicly?
I think the energy, the money, people like George Soros, a variety of other groups who've been pouring money into these systems. Remember, Mamdani had huge amounts of money, as the New York Post reported, that really financed the grassroots effort to turn out millions and millions of dollars. So what they're faced with is the organized energy on the left is there. It's militant, it's aggressive, it's hateful. And if you stand up against them, they're going to savage you, they're going to attack you, and they're going to drive you out of public life. And I think as a result, and also look at the age thing. And Schumer's not at a point in his life where he wants to get involved in a trench warfare that is going to just force him day after day into a nasty, miserable fight. Hakeem has a different problem. I mean, he would like to be a centrist. He knows he has to pay off the left. He gives things like this 8-hour and 40-minute speech filled with lies because he's trying to show he's militant and he's tough. But what he actually shows is that he is impotent, that he doesn't know the truth, and that he's not effective. So they're all hanging out there as sort of the remnants of the old order. They don't have the energy, they don't have the toughness, they don't have the vision. And the people who are emerging, the AOCs, the Mamdanis, in an odd kind of way, the oldest of the new order, the senator from Vermont, who has been around openly as a socialist for his whole career, and suddenly in the Democratic Party, that is the future. So the Bernie Sanders, AOC, Mamdani future dominates the traditional party.
Newsweek did an AI analysis ranking the first.
This is so big right now. Again, this just dropped moments ago, guys. Today, this morning, just a little bit over an hour ago, guys. I show you the breaking news, guys. Look at this, 10:53 a.m., July 23rd. Look at this. DNI Tulsi Gabbard's recent declassification reveals that Russian intelligence obtained but chose not to leak highly damaging information about Hillary Clinton's health during the 2016 campaign, that she was allegedly suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems. I don't think you want a president that's dealing with intensified psycho-emotional problems. Was taking heavy tranquilizers. She had reported medical issues including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, deep vein thrombosis, COPD, chronic fatigue, and Obama and senior party officials reportedly found her health condition extraordinarily alarming. Guys, all this stuff is coming out. And what it's just showing you is that, dang it, we've got to get some replacements in Congress. Because again, too, guys, I believe we should have an America First party, no matter what. But again, too, having two parties kind of keeps you honest. Because if you only have one party, then you get into where they control everything and then you get corrupt people. So I like having two parties, but I want both parties to be America first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The Texas Lazy Gardener, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, love the channel. Thanks, Joel. Y'all show him some love in the chat. The Texas Lazy Gardener, member of the channel, guys, because if you do not have accountability, what you're about to see next, guys, is one of the most disgusting things. It breaks my heart because this is just one of the biggest scandals coming out right now and being exposed with people giving money to charities. That's why we give to a local charity. You see me on screen where 85 to 90 cents of every dollar goes to the actual charity, to the people. Not like the dang government where 85 cents of every dollar stays with the dang contractors and lobbyists. Listen to this.
It's been 6 months since wildfires burnt LA to a crisp. Some parts of the city are still piles of ash. Residents say they went months without seeing any trucks, crews, or supplies. Entire lots are sitting empty, and squatters are moving in.
Squatters are overtaking vacant lots that burned down, like this one right behind me here. This guy set up a whole campsite and I guess actually went down to the DMV, listed this as his address on his driver's license, and the property owner can't get them off.
How's this even possible? Just a couple of months ago, Hollywood put together a star-studded telethon to raise money and rebuild. All the stars came out.
Fire aid held at the Intuit Dome and Kia Forum included Lady Gaga, Stevie Wonder, Rod Stewart, Pink, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Earth, Wind & Fire. Those not in attendance could donate throughout the concert at fireaidla.org. 100% of the proceeds go to fire relief and prevention.
100% of the proceeds go to fire relief and prevention, they said. Well, that concert raised over $100 million. So $100 million should be going to fire relief and prevention, right? But the victims say they haven't seen a penny. One of them called Fire Aid and asked, what happened?
I said, you know, victims want to know when they can get their money. Seems like a very simple question. Mm-hmm. He said, basically, they don't. All this money are going to nonprofits, and then nonprofits will take care of making sure the money's distributed.
You mean an NGO? A nonprofit government organization. You mean one of those? Oh, guess what, guys? That's what happened. Guess how many people have gotten help? Guys, if we aren't exposing everything, guys, this is, I'm telling you, this is what makes me so mad, because you cannot trust what's going on so much nowadays. It's all corrupt. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, it's just blowing my mind how prevalent this is throughout the United States.
Urge everyone to just go to the nonprofits that are listed. If you want a good laugh, I mean, one of the nonprofits cleans preschool bathrooms. Well, after the fire, who knows? Maybe there is a preschool bathroom that needs cleaning. This fire aid money is not helping the people. It's helping nonprofits, many of them who have executives that are getting a six-figure salary.
Primetime followed the money, and she's right. A lot of the grants went to a laundry list of left-wing nonprofits, like the California Native Vote Project. What do? Empower Native Americans to participate in the democratic process. Fire Aid claims that group was chosen to help Native American families who were displaced by the fires. But the Pacific Palisades only has 16 Native American residents. The Pasadena.
So you mean to tell me you got 16 Native American residents who were involved with the fire, but yet they got millions of dollars to try to help them go vote? Guys, I'm telling you, is this not crazy? You always gotta follow the money. So much dang corruption.
NAACP also got money. What does the NAACP have to do with wildfire relief and prevention? Well, they said it was to create spaces where individuals can unite, share resources, and work collectively toward recovery. Okay, what does that mean? I don't know what create spaces means. They also sent cash to musicians. $3.3 million went to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, the Music Health Alliance, Music Industry Mental Health Fund, and the Black Music Action Coalition. It wasn't just musicians. Podcasters got paid too. The Alteneda...
Do you hear this, guys? Podcasters getting paid. Musicians getting paid. And not only that, we just got this breaking news, guys, that just happened minutes ago. I told you I'll bring you the breaking news from the leading report. Look at this. Speaker Mike Johnson claims that the Epstein files may have been doctored by the Biden administration. If it's not one thing, it's another. That's why Trump says that we're going to release everything, but release what's credible, because they know that they were tampered with. Eaters of Dead, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, read White Rose Society Leaflet 3 and tell me why I don't give to charity. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Y'all show Eaters of Dead some love in the chat, as well as Gregosaurus Galoris said Obama and Hillary and so many more. Click, clink, clink goes the change with the nice orange jumpsuit. This fall, grab your popcorn and tune in to Joel at True Life News and watch the parade. Y'all show Gregosaurus some love in the chat. Guys, I'm telling you, if it's not one thing, it's another. I just want to see somebody arrested that has committed a horrible crime, that is a big politician, so that we at least know there's not a double standard. They did it to Trump. We need to get justice for the American people.
Foundation got thousands to report on critical information for fire victims that looked like this.
Me and Lena Kennedy are going to meet with them. Pastor Angel may or may not. And then I also have a meeting tomorrow at 12 with After the Fires USA, who also contacted me.
Oh, wow. That podcast got 7 views. 7. And one of them was a primetime producer. We asked all the musicians, podcasters, and NAACP leaders how they spent the money, and we still haven't heard back. Out of the $75 million distributed, only $1 million went to the LA Fire Department Foundation. $0 went directly to the victims. FireAid says this was all by design. Quote, FireAid does not have the capability to make direct payments to individuals, and that was never the plan. We've partnered directly with trusted local nonprofits. Each dollar was intended for the community. So this was the plan all along. Collect the money, feed it into a liberal nonprofit machine, and just hope for the best. Sound familiar? This is like LA USAID.
Oh.
Elon, I hope you're watching.
Guys, and I'm telling you, we're bringing the receipts because, again, think about how much money is involved with this right here. 26,000 staffers at the IRS have been let go with buyouts. So they got severance, they got paid to leave. Trump has slashed 25% of the workforce. Now, I want to show you that the average IRS person makes about $70,000 a year. So we're just going to show you how much money has been saved with that. So you times 26,000 by 70,000. 3, and you save about $1.82 billion a year. Almost $2 billion a year is being saved now. Trump is saying, hey, let's stop focusing on the American people and getting every single dang dime from them, and let's focus more on getting money through the External Revenue Service. Let's make sure that we start tariffing people instead of getting ripped off through our tariffs. Guys, is this not beautiful? You appreciate this? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Kathy Brewer, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, Lord, please stop all of the evil in our government. We need it, guys. Because again, too, it is so prevalent. I'm bringing you the receipts, guys. Trump is just, when he posted this, if this isn't one of the biggest wins with Japan. So we got our deal with China. Now we got it with Japan. Remember, everybody said that the whole world was going to turn on us. Everybody said that Trump couldn't do it. Big lies. Trump said, we've just completed a massive deal with Japan, perhaps the largest deal ever made. Japan will invest in my direction $550 billion into the United States. Guys, that is $500 billion, which will receive 90% of the profits, talking about the United States. This deal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. There's never been anything like it. Perhaps most importantly, Japan will open their country to trade, including cars, trucks, rice, and certain other agricultural products and other things. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs to the United States of 15%. Guys, Trump was just trying to go for 10%. But when nobody made a deal, he upped it. Now they're paying 50% more. This is a very exciting time for the United States, and especially for the fact that we will continue to always have a great relationship with the country of Japan. Don't tell me that Trump's not the deal maker. $500 billion of new investments into the United States, hundreds of thousands of jobs created, 15% reciprocal tariffs. Guys, this is massive. Okay, so then we put things into context. So I'm just going to go ask the AI how much trade was done with Japan in 2024. So we'll just look at 2024. Because now that we're at 15% tariffs, we did $80 billion. No, I'm sorry. Goods imported from Japan, $148 billion. So then you take the $148 billion and you multiply by 15%. So now we're getting an additional, we're getting $22 billion in new tariff revenue from Japan now. $22 billion. That's just from one country, guys. This thing is going to be so massive. It's going to be so huge. We are going to win like nobody's business because Trump is not afraid to use the power of the United States, the buying power, to help put America first. Is this not awesome, guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because this, to me, is what it's all about. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is what we voted for. America First policies, baby. Want to say thank you to everybody who's watching, all of our subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for your support. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family. We want you here. We want to serve you every day with the top news. Big things are happening, guys, and we're showing you all the receipts. We are living through history right now. And just want to say thank you to everybody who participates when you're a member. You give a super chat donation. Remember, this money we donate to a local charity this is local because I want the majority, 85-90% of the money to go to the actual charity of actually touching the people that need it the most. And yesterday we donated live on stream $3,000 to a local children's home. We have donated thus in the past 10 months over $42,000 with your support. And I want to give some special love to those that have given today, guys, because that's what it's all about. To me, when we are trying to make change, it's not just about revealing the truth. It's about doing the change ourselves. And you see me live on stream do this. And I want this full transparency, guys. I want to give some special love to Grandma Bonnie Morris, OG of the channel, and show her husband John some love in the chat, guys. Show Pamela Harper some love for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from her, show her some love in the chat. Gene Copage, OG of the channel, thank you so much. Marlene Meinhardt, Elaine Golden, Fred Samuel, Don Sturgis, John Profchi Jr., Lily Ignacio, the Texas Lazy Gardener, Eaters of Dead, Gregosaurus Galoris, Kathy Brewer, show her some love in the chat. Gene Copage, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, thank you, Joel, for all the news. Deep state being exposed in the sun, and they're beginning to smoke like a vampire. 100%. Show them some love in the chat, guys. We could not do it without you. Thank you for liking and sharing our videos. We're working on some big new things, guys, to help you out in your personal life with some things we're working on. Just want to thank you for all your prayers. Thank you for the likes, for the sharing the videos. We're here to serve you. We love and appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.